all psychos, it's Dark, and welcome to the season finale of Horror Reacts. Well, season 1 at least. In this episode, I'm going to be ranking my personal best and worst horror movies. This is all based on movies that I've seen more than once on Netflix, like actually have seen. At some point, I will make a Horror Reacts talking about the horror movies that I like, personally like, that I have like a list that include like older movies that are not on this list. They might not be on this list. So, if you would like to leave your own list in the comments down below, please do. I will also be pinning my list so you can interact. Let's get into the video. Let's start with the worst first. As I said, they're not like terrible movies. You can watch them. One maybe probably shouldn't get attention. I don't know though. That's up to you. This is just my opinion. So for 10, I picked Unfriended. It makes sense for the era of the internet that we are in right now. It was just not my cup of tea. I didn't find it scary. Basically solely judged that on the fact that I didn't find it scary. That's why it's 10, because it's not the worst and it's not the best. It's just average. The second one I picked Sinister. I picked Sinister to be 9 because it is 9 because it's not the worst. I do enjoy the movie. I just watched it out of sequence. So I watched 2 before 1 and I confused myself and didn't get the storyline. That's why it's at number 9, because it's not a bad movie. I just messed up and didn't watch it correctly, like one does. Number 8 is Would You Rather. I didn't like it. It wasn't scary. It was just gory. It was more like torture P-word. Can't say that on YouTube. You can imagine what I mean by torture P-word.
That's basically what it was. It's not for me, that's why it's 8, because
You could watch it, but if you're not partial to gore or anything, you don't want to watch it. And if you don't like torture or people being injured, definitely don't watch it. And 7, I put Killer Clowns from Outer Space. So I put Killer Clowns from Outer Space because I actually find it hilarious.
it's really cheesy. It's a cheesy 80s horror movie with all of the cliches.
That's why it's number 7, because it's not terrible, but it's not
Great. It's great if you like 80s horror movies and you like
to get a good laugh from them. And number 6 is Prom Night. I put Prom Night at number 6 because it didn't scare me, and it was kind of confusing because they kept jumping back and forth throughout the whole night. It also didn't scare me because it was the whole premise of, like, you know, a psycho chasing after somebody. We've seen that like a million times. You kind of
didn't really do anything different with it. Now, if it was different in the whole sense of like psycho killer,
maybe it would be higher or lower on this list, or it might have been on the best list. Sadly, it is not. 5 is Cabin in the Woods. Cabin in the Woods, it's not
like a terrible horror movie. I mean, it is number 5 on here because of the whole premise of, you know, it turns into not actually being a horror movie. It's kind of just like a movie within a movie within a movie.
the parallel universe thing freaked me out when I first watched it. Not in like a, oh my god, I'm so scared. Not that type of freak out. More of like, my brain hurts, what is happening kind of freak out. And number 4 is Babysitter Killer Queen. Yes, I know that there is a first one in this series called Babysitter. This movie is number 4 because I did not like it.
I don't understand why. Like, we've had other babysitter movies where there's a babysitter and horror stuff happens around them.
For me, I didn't like it. I wouldn't watch it again.
I happened to watch it twice thinking, oh, I could like this.
I personally could not like it, but if you like it, more power to you. And number 3 is Cam. This movie, Cam, is not my cup of tea. Like, it's not because of the subject matter of the movie. Like, I don't care. More power to you. I hope you're doing well and being safe doing that, because we know there are some crazy creeps on the internet. It makes sense that there is a horror movie about that type of stuff, and stuff can happen like that.
But I personally just didn't like it. I feel like they could have done more with the plot to make it more a horror movie. Like, it's a horror movie enough, but it's kind of like Unfriended or any of those other ones that have to do with like the virtualness of being online.
Interacting with people that you can't see, strangers, they're anonymous, you don't know what they look like. And number 2 is Death Note. Live action Death Note. I don't really consider the live action Death Note like horror, because you know it's an anime and a manga. I like the manga and the anime so much better. I recommend them.
The live action movie did so much to it that made it not great. If you
do want me to talk about any of these movies in detail, please let me know in the comments.
But yeah, I do not recommend the Death Note live action. It is not great. They also vary a lot from the original plot, and it's very confusing. Like, more confusing than if you like watch the anime without subtitles.
So yeah, but I do recommend the manga and the anime. I enjoy them. And the last one is Camp Slaughter. This movie is definitely like an 80s movie. I don't recommend watching it because it is an 80s horror movie, but it's like one of those like beginning 80s horror movie where everything is basically just blood. It is so gory and unnecessary. Like, it's unnecessarily gory. If you do not like gore, this is not the movie for you. If you like cheesy 80s horror movies and gore, go right ahead. It's
so gory. I personally don't like it, that's why it's
Anyways, so that is my worst list. As I said, they're not really that bad. Like, I could watch them again if I had to. If I was like at a party and someone's like, let's watch this, I'd be like, okay, it's not my favorite, but I'll watch it. Anyways, this video is going to be so long. Let's get into the other list. So now we're gonna do the best horror movies. As I said, this is my opinion. 10 being, it's good, but it's not my favorite. And 1 being, I love this movie, I will watch it over and over again until it gets boring. Which won't ever happen. 10, I put Truth or Dare at 10. It wasn't a bad movie, I liked the plot. It just wasn't something I would watch again.
Like, I watched it once, I get the premise, I don't need to watch it again. Yeah, it's just one of those things. I won't watch movies again if, like, I understand the plot right away and it's not scary. Because Truth or Dare wasn't really scary. It's basically just a deadly version of the game Truth or Dare that we've all played as middle schoolers and high schoolers and college. But we all know the difference varying of Truth or Dare, but it's never been murderous.
And number 9 is Gothica. I like Gothica, it's not a bad movie, but it is definitely confusing to someone who doesn't understand what's happening or misses part of the beginning. It's one of those horror movies that you really have to pay attention to. That's why I put it at 9, because it's more of like...
It is a watching experience. Like, you have to pay attention when you're watching this movie to understand what is happening, because it is crazy. If you've never seen it, I do recommend it. Just know that you do have to put in watching work. Like, you can't just be like, oh, I'm gonna pop this in and do other stuff and then understand the movie. No, you will not understand it the first time if you're not paying attention. You will have to watch it a few times.
Number 8 is The Blair Witch Project. It is not a bad movie. I like found footage movies, and it definitely opened a pathway for more movies to be found footage. So I do like it. I like the plot. I know this movie a lot of people don't like.
Also, on this list that I didn't put, but if I did, I would have is The Exorcist. I do like The Exorcist. Yes, it's a cult classic, but I do like it. But it's not on this list, so I just thought I would insert it with Blair Witch.
7 is The Conjuring, so The Conjuring series. I like The Conjuring series. I know a lot of people don't like it.
It's confusing or whatever their reason for not liking it. Not everyone's gonna like everything. But I do like the series, but I put it at 8 or 7 because it's not like my favorite movie, but I will watch it again. I will watch it multiple times in my life. Because they have some good, like, you know, dramatic scenes that could be scary, but for me they're not good. Because I don't get scared by jump scares or anything like that.
And number 6 is Cargo. If you like sad and zombie movies, it's a good movie. It's basically, you know, a father and his baby, and they have lost everyone else due to a zombie apocalypse. I'm trying to be very vague about it because I don't want to give it away if you want to watch it. So yeah, it's definitely a good watch if you're into sad and zombie horror movies. But it is really good. I like it.
And if you're on this channel, you probably like zombies and sad stuff and some dark humor and whatnot thrown in.
Number 5 is Carrie. I love Carrie, but I'm more partial to the book. Like, I am one of those people that likes the book more than the movie. It's one of the books I like and I will read constantly.
I do like Carrie. It's an interesting movie.
It has a lot of good points about a lot of things, I feel.
That's just my opinion on it. I definitely recommend the movie if you want to watch it. I recommend the book. I know a lot of people probably don't like the author, but whatever.
Number 4 is It. So I put It at number 4 because this is one of my favorite books / movies. Maybe the movies weren't great. Whatever, they're not. Maybe the movies weren't great, you didn't like them. I am very biased about this because this is one of my favorite, like, storytelling things or plots that I've ever read in a book, seen in a movie, seen in, like...
I am definitely more about the book. Like, I love this book more than I love the movie, but I will definitely watch the movie again. That's why it's at number 4, because it's my favorite book. I rave about this book. The funny thing is, I hate clowns. I am deathly afraid of them. Like, I will scream and run away, but I can watch it and I can read it. It's the weirdest thing. Probably because, you know, he's not actually a clown, he's shapeshifter, but whatever. Moving on before I rant.
And number 3 is Hush. So this is a Netflix original movie, I think, but I have seen it multiple times. It is so good. Like, I was surprised the first time I watched it. I thought it was just gonna be another, like, oh, home invasion movie. No. This movie takes you through a labyrinth of emotions. I thought it was really good. A lot of critics thought it was good too. As I said, I don't really know, like, the ratio of likes and dislikes on this movie because I didn't look it up.
I don't really want to know, like, when I like a movie, I don't want to know, like, the negative of it and, like, people not liking it.
And number 2 I put as Annabelle. I did really like Annabelle. I know that some people are probably like, I like the real story of Annabelle, like the actual doll. I find that interesting, so I thought the movie was interesting. It didn't really scare me.
This is not, like, my all-time favorite movies. I will make a list about that eventually at some episode, but Annabelle's a good movie. If you want to watch it, I recommend it.
And my last one is Get Out. I actually really liked Get Out, and I liked the other one, Us. I liked Get Out and Us. I think we need more movies like that. I recommend them. That's the list. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know this video is so long, but I really wanted to do this as the finale. I hope you watch it. I hope you like it. Also, please don't forget to leave your list in the comments down below. You can either do worst or best or both. And it doesn't have to be as long as mine, but I will definitely be pinning mine in the comments so you can interact with that comment and tell me what you think. Tell me if there's a movie I missed that should have been on a specific list. If you don't like a movie that I put on a specific list, tell me which one it is and let's talk about it. I'm down to talk about it. Anyways, if you'd like to become a little psycho, please hit that subscribe button, and also don't forget to hit the notification bell so you're notified when I upload next. I will see you in tomorrow's video. Goodbye, my little psycho!